Hi there, this is Mark Sebastian, founder of OptionPit.com with the AM Vol Report. Reminder, none of this should be construed as investment advice. Consult your financial professional. Options have risk. If you lose money, it is your fault, not ours. So, hey, the beginner boot camp starts today. If what I'm talking about in this report is too confusing for you, the beginner boot camp may be appropriate. So, let's talk about the market. Well, we have three Fed governors speaking today, two that already talked, and we have the vice chair coming out and saying, well, we're not sure what we're going to do. It's too hard to tell whether they're going to raise rates or not. And we're 3 weeks away from the next meeting. It is unbelievable that the Federal Reserve can't figure this out. And a little scary, to be honest. That being said, oil is off big. We've got crude oil off another 4% today, and in 2 days the market's given away 50 points. A couple of weeks ago, I think that would have been a one-day sell-off, not two. Now today it looks like it's lining up as a little ugly, but as I look at the overall volatility space, you look at VIX, it's up $1.70, not the end of the world, and you look at VVIX, and it's up 3. Again, not the end of the world. Does not quite sound like the option market is quite buying into this trade quite yet, which is interesting. It's interesting that we can be down like this and not see a huge pop in VIX. I mean, we saw just some massive destruction of VIX last week. I mean, if you look, just an utter thrashing of volatility last week. And I mean, how many red days in a row? And really not a huge recovery today. A tiny little 2-day recovery. And if I pull up VVIX, we continue to see the same thing. You get a little bit of a dip, but it's not, I mean, it's still holding levels that are, relatively low. All right. And kind of toward levels that would have been elevated, maybe would have been elevated, but, it's not getting a big pop today like we might expect. The main weakness, the hilarious thing is that this is an oil sell-off, and tech is where the pain is being felt. Apple down, Facebook down, Google down, Amazon, things that really don't have much to do with tech at all. Banks also getting beaten. Look at Goldman Sachs down 4, and JP Morgan down nicely as well. So a couple of beat downs there. If there is a positive space, it's retail and bonds. I mean, take a look at TLT, and then I want to talk about TLT vol, which is now 1560 with TLT 133, and is just not reacting to any of this. Look at this. Explain to me why I don't want to own this. Own this volatility. It's pretty phenomenal, especially with a Fed meeting coming up. There's going to be some action there. Oil. Let's take a look, pull up OIV, which is the VIX of oil. It's moving again at least, but still below 70, and doesn't appear like it's going to make a big run higher. So, as I look around, this doesn't feel like a contracted sell-off to me as I look at it. Now, it might be, but right now the market is not acting like it is. Now, it's changed its tune in the past. For sure it has. But up to this point, it is not acting that way, which is a little odd given the movement, and part of a theme of volatility kind of cycling lower and lower as the market kind of finds itself a levels to kind of park at. So I don't see a panic. About the only spot where there maybe is some serious demand and panic is in the gold space, where volatility is starting to really, really move. I mean, that's a nice that gold vol's made a permanent move higher after being in the toilet for a really, really long time. So as I look, if there's a space to trade and to buy premium, if you're looking for premium, I think it's in TLT or bond vol. And S&P vol doesn't appear to be doing anything special. And oil vol is what it is. It doesn't seem to be like it wants to panic up to 80. And in and of itself seems that, is not, it ain't going anywhere. It might be heading back toward a resistance point, but doesn't appear to be, end of the world levels in oil. It's still holding above 30. And, it's just interesting the way everything's lining up. I think that there is a real opportunity to potentially look at this as kind of a 1 to 2, maybe a 3-day off event, and potentially trade around it. All right, folks. On that note, I hope everybody has a great day. You can go to optionpit.com/begincamp for our beginner boot camp, and you can email me mark@optionpit.com or call me 888-TRADE-01. Have a great morning, everybody.